up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Sisters in Crime with Shy and Toy podcast. My name is Shy, and that's short for Shamia.
And I'm Toya, short for Latoya.
And welcome back to another episode, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to our new followers. Welcome. We are excited to have y'all. Thank y'all so much for the love on our post on TikTok. That's where our main views come from, because y'all like mess mainly. But also because I know everybody kind of like the short clips, which is fine. But y'all, thank y'all so much for the love and support. Always, you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. Every social media page is the Shy and Toy after show. Well, we do the after show, the Shy and Toy after show, and also of course, the Sisters in Crime with Shy and Toy podcast. That's what our name is on all the platforms. Sorry, I got that backwards. Anyway, so today we're coming with y'all with a very interesting case. I don't know if y'all know, but Unsolved Mysteries just released their new season, and it was very good. We're actually going to talk about one today. The episode is like episode 3. It's called The Severed Head or Severed Head or something like that.
Yes.
And y'all, it really opens up to a area that I slightly know about, but you just think there's no way that people are doing this. And what I'm referring to, y'all, is the black market funeral. What would you call it? Funeral industry, like, I guess.
Yeah, with involving body parts.
Yeah. First I want to say, for all the dirty funeral directors, y'all are some shiesty ass people. Like, shame on you. Like, so we just gonna talk about the case, y'all, because I was floored. I was like, are you serious? Like, because
Dead ass.
the episode starts off where there is this young man who's walking through the woods, kind of just, apparently this is what he did. This is kind of like a hobby of his. This young man steps through the woods, and he actually stumbles upon a severed head. A whole head, y'all. A human head.
But so the head was embalmed.
Yes. So when the police came, right? Go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's all. I'm just throwing that out there. It was embalmed.
It was embalmed. They said it was perfectly intact. Like, and honestly, y'all, trigger warning, they actually show glimpses of the head, and yeah, it was pretty decent.
It looked straight.
It looked good, like the black folks say, they laid her down, they put them up nice, put her up nice. That's what black folks say. They put him up nice.
Good,
Yeah, like,
I don't know about the rest of her body, but
yeah, because we don't know. That's what we're gonna get.
We don't know.
We don't know where the rest of her is at. But anyway, so when the young man finds the head, he calls the police, and they come out to the crime scene, and they take a look at the surrounding areas at the head. Of course, they observe, they were trying to figure out, was this a human head? They also observed that there was, it was, I think it was around November, December.
Yeah.
When they came. Yeah. So around that time.
And they thought it was fake.
They did, because, around that time, leaves were still falling, and there was no leaves on top of the head. So,
that
they
let them know that head had not been there for a long time.
Yes. Yeah. So that was a key. But see, at that point also, they did a lot of searching around the area, trying to figure out if there's more body parts, if there was blood, like all types of things. And y'all, there was nothing. Absolutely nothing. You just got this head in the woods. So of course they question the young man. He tells them what happened. There, he didn't give like any indication that he was hiding anything or that he was responsible for this. He was very forthcoming, and they basically ruled him out. But there was one gentleman who actually lived across the road. His name was Jay Grabner. Was it Grabner?
That sounds right. I know it's Jay. Yeah, that's it. Jay Grabner, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Grabner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he makes himself available. He trots his butt over to the crime scene.
And why y'all do that? Like, why do people do that? Why do you, if there's something seriously going on, why do you want to insert yourself into a crime scene?
Because that's where people don't understand. That's the red flag.
Yes.
When you insert yourself willingly and you got all of this, I don't have a red flag.
I left my red flags in my room that I'm normally in. I'm only in the kitchen because my ring light went out and the lighting is not as good in there, and I left my red flags in there. But yeah, red flags going up here.
Right. Red flags. But y'all don't understand. When y'all make yourselves available, like, and it's not when you make yourself available. Let me not say that, but I'm saying when you get to be mouthy and a chatty patty, you know, and stuff like that, and you just get to running off at the mouth, not really knowing and not really realizing that people are listening to what you say.
Now, you know what they say. They say that a lot of times the perpetrator always returns to the scene of the crime.
Yes.
So you're going to be the first one they look at.
Talk about the crime as well. Like, they have to talk about it.
So you the first one they're going to look at. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Just mind your business. Just he stayed at a house across the street. Yes. So why? Anyway, go ahead, sis.
So
Jay pissed off.
He makes himself available. Yes. Throughout the investigation, like, you know, telling them that he really thinks that the teenager who found the head is responsible, because he said that I can't remember how many weeks it had been, but Jay and the young man used to be friends and buddy. The young man would go over, because the young man was about 15. Yeah. So the young man would go over to Jay's house and hang out. He'd take him fishing, kind of like a fatherly, grandfatherly type relationship. And so he would go over to Jay's house or whatever. And I can't remember exactly what happened between them, but they had a falling out, and Jay told the young man never to come to the house anymore.
So what happened was, if you recall, Jay supposedly had a horse. But let me just say, this was not Jay's horse. This was an older couple who was in the area. It was their horse, and Jay took to the horse. The horse mysteriously died, and Jay accused the 15-year-old of killing the horse. So that's why he fell out with him.
That is right.
Over a horse. Y'all may lock them up, but listen, these dogs, cats, and horses, y'all ain't having it.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I had bent my head because I was trying not to laugh at you. Did you do the Wakanda Forever? I said, I know she did not do Wakanda Forever.
They gonna go hard for these animals, but they're
God.
And I ain't even on no tequila tonight. This Sprite from McDonald's.
But listen, she is telling no lies. That's all facts, no cap. Okay. So of course, like I said, we got a full-on investigation. So this ain't funny. I don't know why I like that. But they take the head in a cooler to perform an autopsy on the head. That's what I was laughing at. And then I thought, I'm not laughing at the head, but it's just the fact they had the igloo cooler. They just put their head in there. I was like, that is awful, but anyway.
Whole show was strange.
So they take the head and, you know, they get to examining it. They see it's like the head of a elderly woman between like the age of like 60 to 80 or 70 to 80, that age range. They get to looking and they open her eyes and they see eye caps, which is completely normal because even in today, they use eye caps to maintain the shape of the eye of the deceased.
Didn't know that.
I knew that. Yeah, I didn't know that they put them on. And matter of fact, they're like, don't ask me how I know y'all. In fact, they have little spikes on them, and basically shuts the eye, it holds the eye in place so that they're closed and they maintain like the natural shape instead of being sunk in. And they put it over your natural eye, your eyes. So they open our eyes, they see the eye caps, remove the eye caps. Y'all, guess what they got? This woman got in her eyeball sockets. Red balls.
And we're saying like the bouncy balls that you get out of the machines, little tiny red balls.
Yes. Like at the little vending machine that you used to go when you would go to Pizza Hut.
Or CC's or somewhere like that. The grocery store, Winn-Dixie used to have the toy thing, you know, you put your money in
a quarter in.
Yeah, you get a ball.
Yeah, those types of little balls. So immediately they was like, what? Like, where her eyeballs at? And that woman didn't have no eyeballs. So they was like, what these red? So they got to asking people in the area, like the funeral home directors in the area, like, is this normal? Do y'all just put red balls in people's sockets? Like, is this what y'all do?
And they was like, okay, so no.
So no, this is not normal.
This is not normal.
Okay. And so that's how we knew, okay, that this was some shady shit going on. All right. So the detective actually went into a pizza place. That's how I know you buy these balls at the pizza place. So he he went into the pizza place to get him something to eat, like he always did, he said. He actually looked over and he actually saw the same red balls in a vending machine.
Yeah.
So he looked at the manufacturer, where it was manufactured, and it said China. So they actually contacted the police in China to say, hey, we got this body and, this whole thing, right?
And we got quick interjection. I wonder how long that took for them to reach out to the police in China just to track down some red balls.
Some red balls? I was like, they weren't playing. Because I was like,
this ain't no international case.
Right. But honey, they did. I said, this got to be a small town that murder and
it just
action don't take place.
Because I want to say the lead investigator on this place, he was so weird and strange himself. He said that people always give him the weird cases. And I'm like, that's for a reason. I can tell it's for a reason, sir. You ain't beating these allegations. It's for a reason.
Listen, when I saw him, I was like, I would hate to be in trouble.
Yes.
And him be the investigator because
he's very meticulous. Yes. He reminds me of Mr. Rogers.
Yes. But with a hint of Hannibal.
Yes.
Not the eating people part. Not that, but just the whole aura.
Yeah. It's Mr. Rogers meets Hannibal.
Yeah, kind of sinister, but not the brutal, gross part. It's just kind of the aura is very sneaky. He gave me Scorpio vibes. So I'm gonna keep it real.
Well, not too much on Scorpios. Not too much on Scorpios.
But okay, not all. I think it's mainly the November Scorpios, not the October ones.
I'll let that ride.
Right, not the October ones. It's the November Scorpios that are a little sketchy and that I'm concerned about.
Because that's what I be telling people when they get to talking about Virgos. I'm a Virgo, but I be like, no, y'all be talking about the September Virgos. Y'all aren't talking about the August Virgos. That's them September Virgos.
Not too much on September Virgos, okay?
Oh, brother-in-law, I'm sorry.
Because my man and your brother-in-law are a September Virgo.
So my bad, but our brother is also a September Virgo. And you see what I'm talking about.
Yes. So,
we love you, bro.
Yes. He is hilarious. Listen,
but you see,
we're going to have him on here one day.
Okay? We're going to have him on here one day, y'all.
Y'all going to see. When I tell you, every time I'm around him, my side hurts. He makes me laugh hard. But yes, So the gentleman is very like shaky, very, like, like I said, I would hate to be in trouble and he investigated because you gonna fold. I'm
Right.
saying you gonna fold.
Right.
When he questioning you gonna
Because
fold.
he ain't letting up. He ain't letting
Nope.
up.
At all.
Even the police
At all.
officers don't like him.
Yeah. Yeah. They, he basically insinuated that during the documentary. I was like, oh, basically they don't like you.
They don't like
Okay. So, so, like we said, they contacted the police in China. They were like, those balls in the vending machine are like so massively produced that there was no way they could narrow down like where they could
where it
purchase it
came from or where it was purchased.
Yeah, like if it had a serial number. It was nothing
I
like
knew
that.
that. Hell,
Yeah,
it's probably like 100 of them balls in my mom and daddy house from their grandchildren. Like,
yeah, yeah. So it was just no way they could narrow it down. So that was kind of like a dead end for them. So of course they continued to like look like, do a deeper thought, especially in like another crime. They go back to the crime scene just again trying to see if they could find any blood and, like I say, any more body parts, like anything. And y'all, they didn't find anything.
mm-mm.
So again, Jay Grabner, he's across the street. He makes himself available. They asked him to come down to the police station to be questioned. He did willingly, no problem. They immediately though sent some stuff about him, like he was one of those people that like wanted to be the center of attention and just wanted to be heard. Y'all know these people.
Also,
like
Jay was a little off. A little, I don't know. I'm not going to diagnose him.
Yeah.
But he was a little off. I don't know how else to better say that. I don't know what's economically correct in this climate because shit change every day.
Right.
Okay. So he had some mental things going on.
Yeah. So like my sister said, we're not going to diagnose nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And, they were, that was something they noticed off the bat, but they still took his statement and everything because they were at a dead end. Like they didn't know what else to do. They were like,
and now he's the prime suspect because they was able to rule out the 15-year-old, but now he is the prime suspect.
Yeah, because he was trying to
Go ahead, boo. Go ahead.
He was trying to, blame the 15-year-old, for he was like, he walks through those woods all the time and, it has to be him, but they had questioned the 15-year-old. He was very forthcoming. There was no red flags about him. In addition to that, they actually questioned other people that lived on that same road. It was like, this young man would never do anything like that. They were able to attest, like, he was a good kid. He just loved to walk in the woods. He would never do something like that. So they immediately ruled him out. But Jay, they could not rule him out.
Jay ain't beating these allegations.
Yeah, he's not beating the allegation because he says weird stuff, And I was just like, you should have kept your mouth closed.
Not only that, so there was a journalist that was writing about, as my sister mentioned earlier, about this funeral, black market funeral business, whatever they have going on. The journalist, as well as his cameraman, interviewed Jay. Jay told this man, well, you can, they have body parts and heads and things like that at these hotels, and they come in and do conferences and set up like displays for people to, I guess, play with and operate on these body parts. And the journalist was like, no, I didn't know that. Like, why do you even know that?
Yeah.
Side-eye.
Yeah.
Why do you even know that?
Because like I said, like, I knew of people donating their bodies to science. I've heard of that aspect. But people actually selling body parts, because here's the thing, y'all. It comes out in the documentary that, of course, like we mentioned, she was well embalmed. And they said due to like the incision that was around her neck, they could tell that she was cut like precisely. Like it wasn't like no jagged edges or anything like that. It was completely clean.
Right.
And they could tell it was done professionally.
Mm-hmm.
But the concern is this woman is embalmed, and it's apparent that she was embalmed and then cut. Okay.
Yeah.
So the concern is they're trying to figure out this woman. They have first they, when they hit a dead end with the crime scene and the questioner or whatever, they went to DNA samples.
Mm-hmm.
They put the DNA samples, they compared it to DNA in Ancestry. I believe they sent some to the FBI. They also sent some samples to North Texas University, and all of that came back as
dead. When nothing, ain't nothing come back.
It wasn't that sticking, like.
But now they had this forensic artist draw a sketch. Mm-hmm. It was a really good sketch that didn't really lead to anything. So then they had her make a sculpture, right? And the sculpture, I was like, okay, they put that out and they got a couple hits on it. Particularly, there was a case a few miles away. I think it was still in Pennsylvania or maybe in a neighboring state. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember specifically. Yeah. Where they had a crypt that had been vandalized and this lady's head was stolen. Now, quite naturally, you think they got a body, we got a head, we're going to put them together. This got to be the head, right? That's not what happened. So, what happened was, so mind you, this severed head was found in 2014. The body in the crypt was vandalized in 88. So one of the officers who was now retired at this point in 2014, he reaches out. He was like, well, y'all got a head. I wonder if your head go to my body. So they hired I think she was a forensic odontologist or something like that. And they looked at the heads, dentist work or whatever. I don't know how you said it, whatever. And they were able to conclude that this head did not belong to this body because the head had dental procedures that were not available at the time the lady passed away, whose body it was. The lady passed away in 52. These procedures did not come available to the 90s.
Yeah.
The materials they used for those fillings and stuff like that, it wasn't available until the 90s. So they were able to determine this head does not belong to this body. But that opens up a larger discussion. Why people out here missing body parts?
Yeah. Well, see, they brought that up because they said in a lot of satanic rituals, satanists will use body parts to perform what would you call it? Seances?
I guess rituals, whatever they do. I don't know because we about the Lord. I don't know about that, but yeah.
But
Jesus.
They said a head in those types of rituals are very sought after.
Okay.
So they, that's why, they were at that point thinking, is this the reason why you have this head? Was it like someone trying to steal it for a satanic ritual? So it was concerning because, of course, they can't find this, I hate to say the owner of this head.
But I mean, that's what it was. They was trying to find ownership.
But so they decided to revisit the funeral home, funeral directors, getting more information because like we said earlier, this is an embalmed body, head that they're wondering, since she was embalmed and then her head was cut, how could this happen? Because typically when a body is embalmed, it's embalmed for viewing.
Right.
And, viewing for family or whatever. And then, but then they found out, investigators found out there is possible because, I've heard of people being embalmed and then also laid out, and then also sent to be cremated. So they asked them, in the event that it was possible that the body had to lay in the funeral home for a little while until they shipped it off to the crematory. Yeah. There was a portion of time that the body could have sat in the funeral home before they sent it off. But so that gives ample time for someone to, keep body parts and cut them and all that stuff and sell them. And that is scary if you think
what
about it.
probably happened is the family got part of the ashes, everything but the head.
That's
then they
probably
probably sold it to that, the black market business or whatever. But as we said, the prime suspect is Jay. Jay took a lie detector test. He failed it horribly.
He did. And listen, what was funny in the he said, listen, when they was questioning him, it's funny. It was just funny to me, because he immediately started yelling when they confronted him about the failed lie detector test. He was screaming and cussing and all this kind of stuff. But sir,
Jay was carrying on. He was like, he'll go. When they asked him to take it, he was like, "Yeah, I'll go take it right damn now."
Yeah, he said you effing right. He sounded like 2 Chainz.
Yeah.
He said you effing right, I'll go down
And
there.
he did all that and failed. Like every single question.
Yeah, they said 99.9% he lied.
Yes.
Like the whole thing. There was no aspect that was he told the truth. None.
Also, y'all, really quick, and we about to wrap up. So Jay in his house, remember I said the journalist and the cameraman went to go interview him. Jay had a telescope. And the journalist asked Jay to show him the direction where the head was found in the woods. Because remember, Jay's house was directly across the street. The telescope was already pointed at that location.
Yeah.
Not to mention his
keeping
best
an
friend,
eye on it.
Right. Not to mention his best friend, which was his dog. He literally has the dog in the deep freezer, like in the basement somewhere.
Yes.
Just weird, right? But unfortunately, nothing, they weren't able to prove anything or stick anything to Jay, and Jay ended up committing suicide. Unaliving, I guess is what we use now. But he drove on the freeway, pulled out in front of a truck, and he's no longer with us. They have no leads, no new suspects. They still don't know who this lady is, but they did. The officers and their families got together and held a funeral for her. She is marked as Jane Doe. I thought that was beautiful. They did that because they didn't have to, but they did have a funeral for her, and they buried the head in a casket. So the investigation is cold. It's a cold case, but this took more turns than a ride at Six Flags, because I just knew for sure when they found that body that it was gonna be her.
Quick, yeah. But see, also another suspicion before we go.
Yes.
People thought that it could have been Jay's mother who actually passed away in like the early 2000s or something like that. I believe so. They believe that it could have been her, but there was no way to prove that because they only had like younger pictures of her. It wouldn't be like older pictures who would have showed like how she aged.
Well, no,
like
remember they talked to the family and the where she's buried, like the graveyard people and stuff like that, and they strongly believe that's not her.
Oh yes, they did. I skipped over that part.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
They did talk to them, and they made the determination that that's not his mom. Okay, he was the prime suspect, the only suspect, and he is no longer with us. So they don't have any leads or anything to go off of. I don't know if maybe they can do another ancestry in me since like 10 years has passed and see if something else comes about. Because things have advanced a lot in the past 10 years, but I really hope they find out who that lady, who she belonged to.
Exactly. So that her family, and that's scary. The fact that no one has come forward, it just makes you realize, like, it makes you concerned. Like, does she have kids? Like
grandkids,
siblings, anything who might not be in the area,
Yeah.
So, but this case, like my sister said, it had a lot of twists and turns. It was very interesting, a very eye opener to the dark family industry that I had no clue about. I just thought that all funeral directors were honoring, the dead and helping families.
That's the same with any profession. Everybody ain't on the up and up.
That's true. I got
You got some cooks
you're
out
right.
here now.
You do. I agree. But if you know any details about this case, go to unsolved.com.
Please, because I need closure.
Yeah, I need to figure out. I want to know.
I'm about to go to Pennsylvania myself.
Right. Get us on the case. We'll figure it out. But I checked the case. I checked the case today just to see if there's any updates or anything. It's still the same. No updates or anything. So y'all, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Sisters in Crime with Shy and Toy on all platforms. We upload every Monday at 1:00, so every episode is available there. Is there anything else, sister?
Nope. If you have any suggestions, please send them to us. Drop them in the comments either on our TikTok, YouTube, or you can send us an email, SistasinCrimewithShiandToy@gmail.com. If you have something you want us to discuss for the after show, send that to us as well. And we about to get on out of here because it's Friday. It's 7 p.m. Friday.
It's not.
95 degrees.
It's not.
It's 8:30 Friday. 95 degrees.
Okay. It don't hit the same.
I gotta go get tacos, and these tacos getting me.
Now that was a vibe. That was a bar.
Bars? Mwah. Mwah. No bars.
Y'all, we gonna get out of here. Bye, y'all. We love y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Bye.